Hello, welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please do. We are nearing 1,400 subscribers, and with your help, we can get there soon. So, for today, we are moving on to story number 95 of 100 in Bradbury's stories. That story is The Handler. Mr. Bennett is the town's one-stop shop for death. He owns a church, a mortuary, and a graveyard all in one place. No need for a costly funeral procession. He's a pale man, cold-handed, unpleasant, and he feels mistreated by the townspeople by day. But by night, they are unaware for many years that he is exacting his revenge for their slights of him for their insults. For example, one night, a woman's body comes in. She is known to be a glutton, and he cuts off the top of her head, scoops out her brain, and fills it with whipped cream. Another guy, a bodybuilder, who is very vain, but he's also embarrassed by the fact that he's short, although everybody else in the town would have loved to have been him. He's unhappy with his shortness, and he accidentally basically nearly hangs himself in the process of trying to become longer. So in this case, the graveyard, or the mortician, Mr. Benedict, he cuts off the guy's head, he fills the casket with a load of bricks, and then he puts the body in the freezer, and he intends to have his own body, or his own head buried with that body, because he would appreciate it, and the boy did not. In another case, there's a lawyer, and he gives him no funeral at all. Instead, he burns the body in the incinerator, and he buries a skunk in the casket instead. Sort of clever slights, but also very petty and childish from this man. One night, while he's performing these gruesome tasks, he's unaware that he's being watched, and he's being heard by a man named Mr. Merriwell Blythe. Blythe threatens to tell the town. In fact, he starts screaming out the window, "Hey everybody, this is what he's doing." Benedict injects him with embalming fluid, and as he slowly begins to die. But soon, there are many sounds in the graveyard, sounds of explosions and screaming, and Mr. Benedict is heard running around aimlessly. The next day, everybody goes into the cemetery, and they find nothing but Benedict's blood scattered all over the place, and next to, or on many gravestones, apparently scratched on by fingernails, is the name Benedict. Apparently, his victims had exacted their revenge, and one of the townspeople says he couldn't possibly be in all of those graves, could he? And another voice says, could he? The implication being that a little bit of his malice has been buried with everyone in that town, and maybe that's where they've taken their revenge, and maybe there's a piece of him in every grave. So this story is a silly sort of campfire story. That said, it's kind of gruesome for Bradbury, but at the same time, it does managed to maintain a little bit of his sort of trademark lighthearted humor. He can make anything sound effortless and lighthearted and not quite as serious as it's necessarily intended to be. If you're into very graphic, explicit horror, this would be thoroughly underwhelming, but I think it's fun nonetheless, and I sort of think of it like Lovecraft light. It sort of falls somewhere in that realm in between the old and the new of horror. You could definitely turn it into a very gruesome film if you tried. Maybe someone's done that, I don't know. But it's mainly humorous, and I'm kind of reminded of some of the more humorous, sort of jokey episodes of the X-Files, where they were sort of in like a more fantastic setting as opposed to being actual reality. Sort of had that air to it, in my opinion. But that's it, guys. The Handler, story number 95 of 100 in Bradbury's stories. If you have read this story, what did you think about it? Leave a positive or constructive comment in the comment section below. Either way, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll be back soon with review number 96 of 100. Yeah, we're down to the final 4. Getting through Sunday somehow. So tune in soon and see what that is all about. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Keep it creepy.